Hello and welcome back to another video. My name is Venya and today I wanted to talk to you about some easy tips and tricks for your everyday life on how to save some money. My first tip on what to save money is parcels. These boxes. I do not order stuff online very often, but whenever I do, I get my stuff sent in these huge boxes. There was a watch in this one, for example, and it was this small, very, very tiny, and still it came in this huge box. If I were to send a parcel myself, of course it is expensive to pay for sending it, but then you also need to buy a new packaging for it. This, I think, is a big waste of money because why not just use the ones that were sent to you and reuse them to send your stuff to someone else or back to someone. Another tip also regarding parcels and envelope and letters that you get is something that I've been doing a lot more recently. As you know from another video of mine where I explain why I don't use paper in my everyday life, I'm going to link it up here. I decided that sometimes I still need paper for like quick notes or if I want to leave someone a message. So what I started doing is I started cutting up envelopes and letters that I get where one side of the page is actually non-printed, and I cut them out, letters like this, and now I have this like huge stack of note paper, and this is just the paper I collected from 2 weeks since I posted my why I don't use paper video. So it's a huge amount of paper that is just wasted, and I simply reuse it. I don't really need it that often, and I'll see how much paper I can get within the next month and show you maybe again on how ridiculously much paper is wasted. So instead of buying yourself notebooks and like little paper notes, just use up old envelopes and letters, cut them up to the preferred size and use them for taking notes. Easy. My next big tip on how to save yourself some money is with drinking water. I don't say don't drink any like soft drinks, coffee, tea, or anything else you really like, but switch from bottled water to tap water. Not only you're saving the plastic from the plastic bottles, but you're also saving some money on buying the bottled water in the supermarket. The quality of tap water is as regulated as the ones from bottled water, if not more, and it is regularly checked by government facilities. This saves you a lot of money. In fact, I calculated it once, and with the amount of water that I drink, I save about 30 euros a month when I switch from bottled water to tap water. Also, tap water is readily available at any time, and for bottled water you might have to go to the supermarket and carry heavy loads of water up the stairs, which is really not necessary. So drink up your tap water. The next thing I'd suggest you do is to regrow your own vegetables. I know this can be quite hard if you don't have a garden, and I don't have one either. I just have a little balcony, but I don't really use it. But what I do is I regrow my own lettuce and some herbs that I have. Let me show you. I've had this lettuce for, I'd say, 1.5 or 2 months. I just bought it with the roots and some like soil attached to it, planted it into this pot with some extra soil, and I just water it every day, and as you can see it is like regrowing constantly. And I always pick the leaves from the bottom here, like here or here, so it's almost like a little tree now, and I'm really happy with it. Second thing is I have some parsley. I know some of it looks dry, but it's actually quite healthy. I also just water it every day, and I have my fresh herbs. So doing this saves me a lot of money on buying a new lettuce every couple of days. Of course, I cannot eat the whole thing and expect it to regrow like it was before, but still it saves me some like constant money that I would buy on, that I would spend on new lettuce at the supermarket. And I also really enjoy seeing my lettuce grow and thrive in my kitchen every day. One more thing I save money on is books. I love my books and I could never live without them, so not buying them is not an option for me. But I found another thing that you could easily do, and that is, of course, borrow books from your local library. You can go there and get the physical book yourself, but what some of the libraries also offer is a membership where you can just go on their website and download the ebooks on your ebook reader. Not for free, because you have to pay. For us, it's an annual fee of I think 18 euros for all the books you want, and then you can keep the ebook on your ebook reader for 4 weeks, and then it just deletes itself. I think this is a very clever way. You can borrow the books whenever you want, and it is also always available. So what I do is I use my ebook reader and I borrow books from the library, and I save myself a lot of money not buying the book itself, but I can still read it and take it with me everywhere I go. Another thing that I stopped using for myself is tissues. Especially last year, I was sick quite a lot. I had the flu quite a lot, and I realized how much paper tissues and handkerchiefs I was using up on a daily basis. It was ridiculous. What was my logical consequence for that is that I now use reusable cloth tissues for blowing my nose or wiping my hands or whatever. And what I actually did is that I sewed them myself. They look like this from the back. I also have some that are just t-shirts cut up, but they're not as nice as the ones that I made myself, but I still use them. But just I wanted to show you these. It's very easy. I do not have a sewing machine or anything. I just stitched these together with my hands. One of them I think took me an hour to make, and I always do this while watching a movie, so doing two things at a time. They're very soft, and you just have to wash them at 60 degrees with your like towels or bed sheets or whatever, and they're clean as ever. They smell good, they're reusable, and I just really love them. And they also have a really pretty color, but you can save a lot of money on like paper towels and tissues this way. My next tip is to not buy cleaning supplies anymore. I used to buy like a different cleaning product for each area of the house, which is really not necessary. While I'm still using up some of these bottles because there was a lot in it, I have already switched to some more natural and basic ingredients for cleaning. Most of the time you just need water, but when I do need a little bit more, like for the kitchen or the bathroom, I use just vinegar diluted with water, and I clean with this. If you don't like the smell, you can add some essential oils, which I don't have because the smell goes away quite quickly, especially if you open the window. So I use that, or I just use some lemon extract, which is working also perfectly fine. And if nothing of that works, I use some baking soda. I also use this on my teeth sometimes, but I also use this for cleaning product. This is a very inexpensive way of cleaning. This one is 49 cents. This whole bottle was 39 cents, and the baking soda I think was again like 56 cents. So this whole thing just comes in over €1, while one of the regular cleaning bottles is always already 2 to 3 euros. So this really makes a huge difference on the long run. And also you can use this for salad dressings as well, not only just for cleaning. My next tip would be for decor items. Save yourself some money and don't go out and buy like ridiculously expensive decor articles, but make your own. What I always have around in my room is my dad gave these hazelnuts to me, and I also eat them, but I still have a lot left. and I just put them in this bowl and put them on the table so people can eat them, but they're also a decorative item on my table. I also have candles on my table. This one I actually made myself by melting 3 candlesticks and creating one new candle, because I didn't burn the candlesticks, but I always burn the ones in the glasses. I had the glass already, so I recycled it, and I made this beautiful candle. It doesn't smell like anything, but you can again add some oils or smell to it, scent to it that you like, and you can make this yourself for free basically, or just ask friends if they have got some leftover candles that they don't need, melt them, pour them in a glass. And the last thing I always think are best for decorative articles are plants. They're green, they're living, they bring like life and sunshine to the room basically, and I have several plants in my room, and I think they make the perfect decorative article. One of the last tips for today is when you're buying new clothes, then don't buy them new in the store. Fast fashion is one of the biggest producers of all the trash that we have, and I think it is really important to reuse old things or buy stuff secondhand. Of course, I've got many things in my closet that I bought for myself from regular stores, but since I have been more conscious of about what I consume and what I buy, I switched to a more second-hand and reuse, recycle kind of mentality. So I try to buy the things that I buy second-hand, and I just wanted to give you an example of how cheap this can actually be in comparison to buying the product new. So I bought this cycling backpack. I don't even know the brand, I have no idea, but I got this off of eBay, and it was €5, including sending it. It came within 2 days, and I've already tried it out. I used it a couple of times and it is brilliant. I love it. It's for cycling. It's a very small backpack. The same with these 2 pair of shoes. These are both original Vans. I don't know about the brand, if they're ethically correct or anything. I just know that I really like this brand and that they fit me very well, because I already have another pair of Vans that I've had for several years, but which is no failing on me, because the bottom of the shoe is just like, there's a hole in it almost. So I decided it was time for some new shoes, but I didn't want to buy a new pair. So I looked on one of like a second-hand market website here in Germany called Kleiderkreise, and I found 2 girls who offered theirs for €10 each, which is ridiculous because they normally cost like what, 50 to 70 euros or something. But I think they're so beautiful, and I'm so glad I can wear them for the next couple of years now, without them being wasted or just thrown away. So go to your local second-hand shops, look on eBay, look what you can find. Of course, make sure the seller is legit and you communicate with them before really purchasing something. But I think, in my opinion, and I've only made good experiences with buying second-hand online. So whatever you do, be careful, but consider doing it, because it's saving you so much money. And the last tip that I have for you, which is quite a weird one, and I think not everybody is going to like this, is but to actually get some of the furniture that you have or that you want second-hand. If there is the exact thing that you want second-hand, brilliant, go for it, give the furniture a new life. But what I've done a couple of times now is regularly people throw out their furniture or stuff that they don't want anymore on the streets, and then the city drives around in these huge trucks and picks up all the stuff, and like it's burned or something. They bring it somewhere out of sight, out of mind. I don't know, but whenever this happens, I tend to roam around the neighborhood and see if there is anything good that people throw away that I might need. So let me show you what I found last time. So this is what I collected from the streets. It's a bathroom shelf which is in perfect condition. It's not wood, it's plastic, and the frame is metal. But there was literally nothing wrong with it. And now I just use it to store some of my stuff in. So this is not the only time. Oftentimes I also got some vases. I got some wood that I did DIY stuff with, and many other like little things that I ended up having for a really long time. So it's a good way of recycling stuff. And now I have everything I need, so I do not really need to do that anymore. But if there is something I need, I will definitely go around and look for it so I can get it for free. That was it from me. I hope you found these tips helpful and maybe got some new ideas on how to save some money on easy everyday things that you don't have to think of that often. I might do a second video on this because I've got so many more ideas on how to save money. But for now, this is it from me. I hope you liked this video. If you did so, please give me a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.